I was listening to the story it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse, trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hind quarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the dirty. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in the silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paranormal Odyssey. I'm your host, Wayne, joined as always by my partner in crime, the lovely Miss Tiffany. How you doing, ma'am?
Good. I had a fabulous day. I got to spoil my oldest grandson, and I sent him home so rotten. He stinks. I sent him home tired and grumpy.
How'd you do that? What happened?
Well, I took him and got his hair cut, and I don't even know. There's two different children once he gets a haircut. And then we went to lunch. Then he said it was too hot to play on the playground, which he's 4. So a kid saying it's too hot to play on the playground, it's really freaking hot.
You should probably pay attention to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took him to Five Below, and he got so much stuff that he didn't need, but he wanted it. So Grandma got it for him. And gosh, what did we do after that? Oh, I took him to Dunkin' Donuts and got him a donut and filled him full of sugar.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was a really good day.
Hopped him up, sent him home to mama.
I sure did. Yep.
Yeah, I got to spend a little bit of time with my granddaughter last night. Went over and saw my oldest boy and his wife and their daughter, Miss Cece. It's odd that I get to see her without Scarlett, so it was nice just getting to play grandpa last night instead of dad and grandpa. So yeah, it was fun.
It's a bundle of joy.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to spend the day with them. That's awesome.
Me too.
All right. Looking forward to tonight's show. We got the Vogel brothers backstage for a round 2. Talking to those guys the last few minutes. Excited about some of the stuff they're going to be talking about. But as always, before we get there, let's pay some bills.
All right.
If you are new to the show, please hit that subscribe button. Help us continue to grow. Tell your family, your friends, and just help us to keep heading in the right direction. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and I, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com. We would love to hear your encounter. We would love to have you on. So just reach out to one of the two of us or both of us. We'll both get back to you.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. First you don't succeed, try again.
Right.
Guys, head over to paranormalworldproductions.com. It's our website. Check out all of the other shows under the studio's umbrella. Pick you up some merch. Make sure you sign up for the completely 100% free newsletter Mr. Brian puts out every Sunday. Doing a great job over there. So if you haven't signed up, please do so. But you can do all of that over at paranormalworldproductions.com.
And if you have any questions for tonight's guest, as always, if you would put them in all capital letters, we snatch them up and we do a rapid fire question and answer session at the end of the show. So just put them in all capital letters so we don't miss them.
All right, guys. And lastly, before we get to them, we still are doing our members only group. We did our giveaway a couple weeks ago, so there's no giveaway at the moment, but you're still welcome to join our members only. It's $1.99 a month. You get all kind of perks. Members only show, which we will be doing this Saturday. I'll be putting that together either tonight or tomorrow. So our members be looking for a show this Saturday. Also, you can join our Discord, Paranormal Odyssey Discord. It's a lot of fun over there. All the members just get to hang out and talk spooky stuff and all that good stuff. It's just $1.99 a month. It's not going to kill anybody. So we would appreciate it. Also, as you see at the bottom, thank you, Alex. Best $1.99 ever. I agree with that statement.
As do I.
As you see at the bottom, the super stickers are open. It's been a little while since you guys have hit us up with any of those. So if you're able and you would like, we would appreciate it during the show. We haven't hit that $100 for the month mark. We're not far, but we haven't hit it yet. So anything you guys can do to make sure we get paid for the 5th month in a row, we would appreciate that very, very much.
Yes. And you guys, if you like to see people scared out of their mind, then you are going to want to join our members only, because when we do these videos, and it's going to be even funnier now because my setup's completely brand new. I'm not laggy. I'm not glitchy Tiffy. You're really going to see how terrified I am. So, yeah.
That last one we did that was supposed to be a members only, but yours truly didn't change it to members only.
Yes.
I could blame that on the producer, but I will take the credit for that because she doesn't have access to that. So I guess it has to be my fault. But yeah, there was a couple of those jump scares in there that got us scared the hell right out of us. There's been a few of those on some members only, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's always, even though I'm terrified to death, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's really a good time. All right, you got anything else, ma'am? I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Because it's way too early.
I don't know, because it's 8 minutes and 13 seconds into the show, and we're usually 10 and a half-ish minutes in. But I think that we talked about everything.
Yeah. Well, we did the members only giveaway, so there's not as much to talk about there. I will mention the poll question is live and active tonight. The question is has something to do with the poll with the newsletter that we put out this past week, Sunday, dealing with mind speak or telepathy. Going to get these guys backstage, get their opinion on this, but the poll question for tonight is mind speak an actual occurrence? Is that something real that's really happening, or is it made up? Before we get to them, what do you think, Tiffany? What's your opinion on that?
Well, it happens often. And so, and it's just
it's reported often.
Yeah, it's reported often. And it's just like a Bigfoot encounter. These people don't know each other. They've never met each other, but yet they're describing the same kind of occurrence. If you listen to, not to throw names, but Les Stroud, if you listen to he talks about the same thing. So, there's a lot of little cracks and crevices in this whole Bigfoot world, and we just don't know anything about it.
Well, spoiler alert for those of you that listen to That Bigfoot Podcast. If you're not listening to That Bigfoot Podcast, shame on you, because it is the best podcast out there right now. But we get into that. I think it's coming out tomorrow. Brian and I talk about it. It'll either be tomorrow's episode or Friday's episode, but I believe it's tomorrow. We talk a little bit about the mind speak stuff, and I'm on record. I talk about it in that episode. I've said it before. I think it's a real thing. I get
Mhm.
I talk to him when I go into the woods. And at first I felt silly doing it, because you don't talk to them out loud like we're talking right now. I talk to them in my mind and just say, I'm not here to hurt you. I don't want to bring any harm to you. I just want to learn from you. If you would allow me to see you, I would be very grateful. I do that every time I go into the woods looking for these things. It hasn't led to anything just yet, but there's that what if.
Right. Well, and if you don't try something, you don't know. The answer is
Exactly.
always no if you never ask the question.
Exactly. So yeah, that poll question is out there, and at the moment we are at 80% yes. So you guys agree for the most part that it is an actual occurrence. All right, let's see what Tim and Eric think about it. You ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right, we got Tim and Eric backstage. They are the Vogel brothers. Tim is currently a ranger. He's a park ranger. Eric has recently retired. That has led him to focus his attention on the Cobble Mountain Critter Project. I think I got that right. They will correct me here in just a minute, but I'm trying to buy time because it looks like Tim has stepped away. There he is. All right.
He
So
was
let's welcome, yeah, let's welcome Tim and Eric Vogel. How are you doing, gentlemen? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hi guys,
We're
how
doing
are you?
good.
Good.
Hey.
Good.
Doing well. Yeah.
Good deal. You were
So you saw that? All right,
What's
yeah,
that?
because you guys just did a loopy loop thing, and it was pretty cool.
okay.
So
Yeah,
you guys
sometimes
were
it takes
freezing up and doing a loopy loop thing.
sometimes
Yeah,
it takes just a minute to get going once we get the guests on. So we'll kind of work through all those glitches and everything, and we'll get everything straightened out. Let's see. All right, how's that? You guys doing okay tonight?
Right now it's just lag.
Okay,
That's
the problem with live entertainment.
yeah, it was
guys.
just lagging.
Yeah, what? There is a
It's good
bit.
times.
What is going on with this delay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we're kind of. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep. Before
Okay.
Well,
All right.
You're good.
yeah, right now we're good.
Okay. Well, as I was saying, guys, Tim is the park ranger. Eric is retired, so it leaves you a little bit more time to get out in the woods and do some of this stuff. But yeah, we're just going to try to pick up from where we left off last time. You guys were talking about something that happened in the Adirondacks, a tree shaking incident or something like that. You guys just want to start there and take off?
Sure. We paddled out for lunch. Long story short, we started fishing above a small beaver dam in this very remote pond in the wilderness, and all of a sudden these two trees started shaking like they were in a snow globe. The entire forest was quiet. It was September. It was hot actually, and nothing was moving except these two trees, and they were shaking like crazy, like they were in a snow globe. It was just very surreal, and it was very hard to wrap your head around. And almost the same moments that happened, there was a roaring that literally went for almost 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. This all took place. It got more aggressive. We backed out. And the further we backed out, after about 10, 15 minutes, this thing quieted down. And we went back about our business, and we spent the night, a quarter of a mile away from this actually happening, on the same side of the lake. It's a remote canoe wilderness trip. And so that was, where we kind of left off on, is that New York story. And, with the tree shaking and the roaring was just incredible. The vibrations you could feel. Earlier, there was something about mind speak. I don't know necessarily. Nothing was. It did say something. It said, "Get the hell out of here." That's exactly what it said. It did not want us there, and those trees and the loud shaking was enough said. That was like, you need to leave. This is our area. And it was only after I started catching fish in a dam, in a dammed in area that I believe they were fishing in. Now, Monday morning quarterback.
Right.
Okay. All right. So dealing with the
So
delay.
from there, from there.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in here. Dealing with the delay a little bit. It's like you guys
We
got a
kind of
delay.
lost you.
So what we're going to do is to let you guys just talk instead of trying to interrupt you with questions. If y'all don't mind, just start from that point and just go. What happened next? Just kind of in a chronological order. It's going to be easier to do it this way, just letting you guys
All right.
talk and tell the story instead of us asking you questions. So if y'all want to pick it up from there and go on, I think this is the best way.
Gotcha.
Sure. All right. So we were playing Monday morning quarterback, and we didn't know what this thing was back there in New York. We thought it was a mountain lion and a bear, a couple of them fighting. We just couldn't even wrap our heads around the noise. And eventually it stopped, like I said, about 10, 15 minutes, this roaring that you could actually feel in your chest.
But just imagine being in the canoe and having to actually paddle away back to the other side of the lake for this thing to actually stop, and then turn around and paddle a quarter mile up and get out on the same side as this thing just happened to you,
Yeah.
So that was pretty wild.
Yeah. So as we were saying, we got up that, we went to bed that night at the camp, and it was uneventful. We got up real early, we left, and that was the extent of our experience. We didn't even know it was a Bigfoot experience until many months later.
Yeah, right.
And that's when we figured out we had a Bigfoot experience potentially. There we go, back, that was 2013. Turn the clock ahead, and we're into our business. We had Tacoma Mountain Outdoors, and we did a lot of ropes course and team building classes, survival certifications, wilderness stuff. And we happened to be doing a team building course with a school in, I won't say the name of the school, but it was a Catholic school. It was a nice church group. Had 30, 40 kids, probably 35 kids, and a couple of adult leaders, pastor. Whoops, there we go. So anyway, I'm just going to keep rolling. We're in Connecticut, Northwest, and all of a sudden, okay. So we're in Connecticut, and we're having dinner. Eric and I are cooking dinner. This Catholic school is now up on top of the mountain, and they're doing whatever they're doing at the top of the mountain.
Right. They went to this place called the Chimney.
Right.
It's the only thing left out of they had a fire, and that was the only thing left. Yeah. Now this is just a mountain. That's all it is. There's nothing up there. And they went to the top.
Private land.
So to do whatever they did, and they were up there for about 15, 20 minutes, and then they came down, and we had supper just about done. Sitting down, and I was standing at the stove where I was pouring a cup of coffee, and out of nowhere, at the very top of the mountain, it sounded like it was like you flipped the switch for a siren to go on, and it just done. But it was so loud.
Sounded like a police cruiser the top of the mountain. Is the highest noise you could get out. It's just wicked loud.
It was crazy. And the pastor stands there, and his eyes get really big, and I looked over at Tim, and we just kind of went, yep. And he goes, "What was that?" Tim says, "Bigfoot." He goes, "No, sir." he says, remember, if it's Bigfoot, he came over.
He's all freaking out.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
So anyway,
But they just came down, and all those kids were sitting there going, "What was that?" There's nothing up there. There's no air raid machine. There's no volunteers.
Property.
Yeah, it's all private property. So there was nothing there, but that noise was from the top, and it was so clear and so crisp, unbelievable.
Yep. And it was super loud, super loud. But like I said, it sounded like a cop car. What? Something like that, 4 or 5 seconds long, and then it was done. A one and done type of thing. And that was the first and only time I've ever heard what we now think is a Bigfoot whistle, potentially. And it was incredibly loud. And talking with some other people that had similar experience in Vermont, and he explained the whistle that happened to him, which was very similar to what we had experienced in Connecticut. So it was a very similar situation. So I'm thinking this is a Bigfoot whistle because of the remote location, the loud tone, pitch, the whole deal. It was just not supposed to be there, and yet it was. And 35 kids and a bunch of staff heard it as well.
Yep.
So they're all freaking out. What was that? We're telling them it's Bigfoot. and so, no worries. They don't eat people, things like that. And it was fun. It was kind of off the cuff. It was kind of more of a joke and relaxing than anything else because they didn't understand what was out there.
Right.
And so it kind of quieted down. And then, so 7, 8 o'clock at night, these owls started up. And it was just, hoo, 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 hoo. And it was like 6 or 7 owls around our campsite. This is all out in the woods. It's a campsite, and everybody's out in there, and they're listening to all these owls. And I've never heard like that many. It was like they were fighting, like they're territorial, and they were arguing back and forth.
Too many in one place.
Yeah, it was very weird having so many owls in that one spot. And then the owls went on for maybe an hour, let's say. And then the coyotes started up. Sounded like they had a kill or something, and they were going psych, we got dinner.
If you've ever heard a pack of coyotes after they get a kill, I mean it's there's a lot of noise going on when they bring in a kill, and that's what was going on right next to our campsite. Couldn't pinpoint where they were, but they were around our campsite. So now the night's gone. It's kind of chilled out. It's going 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden the noise gets louder. The coyotes got closer. And the owls almost stopped, actually, but the coyotes got real aggressive and real close. They were coming down. They were on the mountain
running,
and they were coming. Something was pushing them off of the mountain. There was nothing in front of them, and there had to be a pack of them.
Yeah.
And when they were coming down, you literally could hear them hitting the ground. That's how hard they were running down the mountain. And I yelled over to Tim because I sleep in a hammock.
Taco.
And I said, man, I hope I'm high enough, I hope I'm off the ground high enough. And he says, well, we're about to find out. And you can hear them coming, and they're making all kinds of noise. And
yeah.
I have an under quilt under my hammock, and I literally could feel the back of that. The next morning when we got up and, we were packing up and getting ready to leave, we
School's
turned around.
gone.
Yeah, they're all gone.
We're
It's just
leaving.
Tim
We're
and
packing
I.
up.
And there's a big tree. It's big. I think it's an elm tree. Oak tree, one of the two. It's about 60, 70 feet long. And it had, it fell over, so it still had leaves and everything else on it. Well, about 5 minutes before everything happened, we heard something walk along the edge of this little knoll.
Thought it was a deer.
We went over to look. We didn't see anything. We thought it was a deer, but we didn't see anything, and we didn't hear the noise anymore. So we stopped, and we're just talking to each other, and you can hear this thing coming through the fallen tree, the limbs. It's hitting the leaves. It's hitting the limbs. And about 20 yards away, maybe even closer than that, you see this thing about the size of a candle pin ball hit the ground. It was a rock. Yeah. And it got thrown about almost 70, 80 feet. Just close enough to tell us it was time to pack up and get out.
Yeah, came right through the trees. You could hear it coming through, hitting all the sticks and whatnot, and it bounced right in front of us. You could hear it coming. You'd see it come out of the trees. I mean, I think if this thing wanted to hit us, it could probably have.
It could have had us with no problem.
But that was kind of uneventful, and we were done packed up. So we grabbed our tent, threw it in a Jeep, and off we went.
And we wished, and we said, we're out of here. Have a good day.
We're done. And that was the extent of our Connecticut. That was with the a school group with over 35 people.
But it's an experience they'll never forget. Any of them.
Right. And this here is one of those things where symbiotic relationships might come into play, where you might start to think, well, the owls, Joe, Pat, I just saw mimicking owls and things like that. I had a report right here on our property, 1,300 acre camp that we have, last year of a hunter and his son, who they called it a berry white owl, and it was a very deep toned owl call, and it was just not supposed to be there. And it was a very he called it a berry white, so it's a deep owl. And he thought it was his kid. Father thought it was his kid doing it. Kid thought it was the other one. They meet up in the middle. They hear whistling, knocking, and this big berry white type of owl, hoot type, could have been a whoop hoot. I don't know. They were saying an owl noise. So yes, potentially they were mimicking an owl. Why not? It's feasible. So
I
it's
believe
potentially
they can
there.
do that. It's an animal. Birds do it.
The coyotes, people have said the coyotes could have a relationship with them, where the coyotes go off and get something, and then the Bigfoot swoop in and clean up and take what it wants. There's talks of that. We haven't experienced it personally, but we did experience that night, all three at the same time.
Right.
Potentially, something there was maybe working together. We don't know. Of course, it's all guess, but that's what happened. The timing, the reality of it, it's all there. And we get plenty of witnesses.
Pure fact.
To
That's
see
all.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
So it would be, do they mimic? I believe they do.
Yeah.
I believe they do. Can they talk to each other? I think they can, just like any other animal can, just like any other human can.
I just don't humanize it.
Right.
I don't humanize it. They're cold. They need a cave. No. An elk that's sitting out there at minus 40 and the wind's blowing. It's minus 40 and the wind's blowing, and they're out there.
Right.
Just the way it is. They're not building. I'm not a naysayer on structures and things like that. We have a few things that we've seen. We have a twist that we go off with when we do our demos and things like that, our library talks. And when I went out, and this thing escorted us out, and there's a complete tree twist, of a tree that's two inches around. It was. So I'm not a naysayer on that kind of stuff, but
right.
The reality of it is, if a bear will park it out in the middle, and they'll wake up with snow on them. Deer You know, I'm not too worried about humanizing a Bigfoot. I just wouldn't do it. It's an animal, done. You know, now we talk about that, and I say that, and then and the same token, there's orbs out there associated with this thing that we've witnessed.
Right.
So, you know,
It does happen.
it's there. We've seen it. And the best part is we've got multiple witnesses that have been there to see it with us. So, you know, it's kind of cool to experience both. It's very confusing to experience both because I really want it to be just flesh and blood. It's something that's, you know, out there and it's out there.
It's there.
But, you know, we have a half a dozen casts in front of us that we've casted, and there's only 1 or 2 casts available that were castable.
Yep.
You know, and the rest are, where are they? This is potentially an 800-pound creature. You know, these things, we saw it is 8 feet tall,
When I had seen
9 feet
mine,
tall.
and when we got our cast in the direction that the casts were going, there were 2 other guys coming in that direction that couldn't have been 20, 30 yards away. And they saw nothing. Saw nothing, heard nothing.
Yet there it was. Eric's watching it run away. Another guy is watching it run away, and 2 guys are walking in that direction where it's going, and yet they never saw it. So,
and we came up with a cast and a half.
You know, it's
not
all
only
story.
seeing it, but going back to do the cast.
Yeah.
When we
The
pulled in, we got screamed at.
Yeah, top of the
From
mountain.
the top of the mountain. And I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't a person. There's no way. I mean, the baritone voice, it was just
It was
too
a
loud.
roar.
Yeah,
It was a roar.
It was unbelievably loud. And we were in a car driving down a dirt road. And we heard that because we were on the passenger side, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were definitely letting them know that we were back.
Yeah,
So
something was
they
up
must talk to each other somehow, way, shape, or form.
You know, besides the wood knocking, the
Right.
whoops, and the other verbal or the other, you know,
Whistles.
rock clacking, even this samurai chatter stuff. None of which I haven't heard any of that. I know other people that have or say they have, and that's awesome. I would love to experience it. We did come close, but I think
Yeah.
I do. We were kind of freaking out, but I think it was a brook. You know, we were camped next to one, and you know, just maybe a surge of water came over a certain way and made gurgling sounds or something. It sounded like words, and all of a sudden, what?
Yeah, I do remember.
But it was a
Weird.
brook, so you know, I guess location.
Yeah, and when you hear something, you just got to investigate it because something like that simple, made something that sounded like it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you just got to look at it. And then when you get there and you say, well, that's not it. Now you can start saying, okay, well, maybe, just maybe this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, our orbs,
The orange,
you know, if you talk about orbs, we had one right here. We had that we were doing
same night you said there.
we
Or
had
day
an
before.
expedition, and I was standing in this field out here with a gentleman from Pfizer,
The scientist.
and he's a scientist at Pfizer, and his son was watching a mouse through a FLIR that we had, and we're standing there, and we're looking across. I'm looking across the field, and I've been to this camp for years, and I'm looking across the field, and I said, "What is that?" To myself, I see this ball, this orange ball. It's like about the size of a beach ball, about 15, 20 feet off the ground. And I'm looking at it, and I look over at the guy beside me, and he just kind of looked at me, and we kind of looked back, and we're looking at this thing going, and he's a scientist, so this is really blowing his mind. And he's going, what? And we watched it go up in the air and just go, gone. Poof. But it sat there for a good 30 seconds so we could get a good look at it. It was unbelievable. But, you know, and then the next day is when I had my encounter with actually seeing a Bigfoot. So do they coincide with each other? And I don't know. The more I look at it, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
They got to get some. They got to move somewhere, and they got to go somewhere.
Yeah, October Mountain, we had a couple of casts. One we use and we like. It's a good cast. We had some toes that are differentiated. That it shows flexation. The toes kind of. I'll just show it to you.
It's a tough one. There you go.
Wow.
When it comes on, you can kind of see the toes. Here's the cast.
It's tough.
It's tough to see, but the
But it is. It's there.
You kind of see the toes there.
And that's a big ass print.
You can see the shape of the foot.
But anyway, that one there came from October Mountain. That's the same one that disappeared in that blue. That was 17 and a half inches long, almost 8 inches wide. And that one, in particular, was the first time we noted smelling or an odor with a potential Bigfoot. That was the first time in October Mountain, in the state forest. That first time we'd ever experienced.
That was a lot
smell
of first
associated with it.
Yeah. That's what kind of really set it off, was when the guy brought it to our attention and says, "Hey, do you smell that?"
Cast?
And this thing was about a little over 100 yards away on the other side of this little pond. And the FLIR only really goes about 100 yards.
See the toes kind of going down.
And you could smell a musty smell. And had to be 8 or 9 people could actually smelt it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many people saw it through the FLIR.
We did get a recording, but the FLIR was raining at night. The FLIR was maxed to find out. This thing that we were watching on the FLIR at 100 yards, you could see through the FLIR it was potentially a Bigfoot. You could see this motion going back and forth. Actually, we had called it the pacing Bigfoot. Yeah. Excuse me, because it started off. Turns out it was on an ash tree. A tree that had fallen. Now it's an 80 or 90 foot log laying horizontally. And this thing was pacing back and forth on it. And literally, 20 feet, went back, went 40 feet, went back, went, blah, 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 all the way to the very end. So, and that's when this thing disappeared and went up a tree. The orb showed up and
that's the only print that we could get out of that.
Yeah. So where did it go? Is it associated with it? Like the coyotes and the owls, was that all in association at the same thing? I was with a couple of guys that the night before, no, actually it was the night before in a different area. And we had, he runs a paranormal team up in Canada. And we had a white orb up in the trees, and it was he was having a conversation with it, like he was trying to get communicate with this thing. Of course, it didn't respond, but it was kind of freaky, and it was this thing, it was this white orb sitting up in the middle of a tree, and Jerry's yelling up, he's talking to it, trying to get something out of it, and it was I don't know.
So they're out there.
Yeah, and that white orb just poof disappeared. It was as quick as it showed up. It was there a few minutes, and then it was gone. 3 or 4 of us in that group saw that. So it's associated the Bigfoot with orbs. I always had a hard time with that, but it's you can't deny it. We've had the experience. Is it the woof factor? I'm not totally off the boat, not on that boat yet. But I could tell you I'm completely confused as to whether or not there's any of this, interportal stuff, and it shouldn't make sense, but it's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
When you don't come across trackways, things like that. But yet these people see them just as clear as I'm looking at you. and yet there's no trackway, or 1 or 2 tracks, and that's it. You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna
So
try
go from there.
to-
We went up to Savoy, and that was in September 22, and that was Labor Day weekend. An Isle encounter.
That was an encounter that we weren't even expecting to happen.
Well, no, not at all.
Well, we were hoping something was going to happen.
It's
But
the same
just,
place.
We just didn't expect it. And it is the same place where I had seen mine.
Yeah. So we were hoping, fingers crossed. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So it's New Year's. No, it isn't. It's Labor Day, and we were going fishing actually, and turned out there were people there, so we booked off, and we ended up going to Savoy, and we went squatching instead. So we head up this dirt road, and we get up to we cross a brook, and we start up this brook. It's kind of rain, and we're walking. We've got our phones out. And we hear, this subtle whistle, and we had like sticks or stones, maybe. At first, it was heavy raindrops, is what I thought.
Right.
Yeah. But then it became louder and closer. Then this tapping on the trees from multiple directions.
And everything that was happening was small, was light.
Light.
It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't loud. It was light.
Yeah, the tapping wasn't like a Louisville wood slugger.
Right. It was just soft tapping. All as we were walking in.
It's like drummer hitting a rim on with a stick. And they were tapping on this tree, or tree, and that's what it sounded like. Tapping from this direction, that direction, multiple 3 or 4 directions, and that was confusing because you couldn't tell if it was rain or. It really wasn't that windy, but it was raining. But yet here it was, and then we continued up a little bit, and we decided to turn around.
Yeah, we decided to go down and say, let's go back to the truck and rethink this.
Yeah. So if Snuffy's watching, there was a safety meeting involved with this, and. We discussed whether or not we were going back up. We went back out. Almost literally just a little bit further than our first time when we got. I don't know. I am not going to say escorted out. It was just uncomfortable, and we kind of got a vibe to leave, and that's what we did. So we got past that spot. The same thing happened. Knocks and the sticks and the stone.
Started all over again. It was
coming real close.
And we went to go a little bit further because I kept telling him. I says, I've been here. I says, there's a puddle at the top. I says,
it rained for 4 days.
Yeah, it rained for 4 days. I says, maybe we'll get lucky, But these things just kept tossing these little pebbles on her. And we said, okay, so we're going out. So we left. Yeah. And we went to a place in Cummington, and we had lunch, and we were sitting there saying, I really want to go back. But we're trying to kind of play, yes, we should, no, we shouldn't. We've already been there twice now. So we did. We said we're going to go back. So we did. We went back, and we got to the top. And place called Balance Rock, and just before it there's this puddle, and as we're getting there we come up to it, and Tim says, oh, look at this right here, and it's a beautiful print right in the mud. Two prints.
Actually there's 3, and one was sketched right out. The second print we didn't want to cast because I thought it was no good. That's what it turned out to be.
See if I can. That is the toes are on an angle. I don't know if you can see it. No,
you can't see it.
Unfortunately, there were 2 great prints, and we have them both. Yeah, there you go. There's the toes right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're what? 9
they were
inches
good.
long?
Oh yeah, at least 9.
Yeah.
But it's still misty rain. So we said, we got to cover these. So we grabbed a bunch of birch bark and we laid it over it. We covered them up, so nothing was going to crush it.
Yeah.
And
Built
we
a teepee over it so deer wouldn't walk through it.
The whole 9 yards. And this is right on the edge of the puddle, but there's no water in these prints.
That was the cool part.
There was no what, so that means that
Print
they had
was
to be
dry.
pretty fresh.
It didn't absorb any water.
Right.
Whatever went through just
Just
went
went
all
through.
out, and there it was.
It with. So the next morning we got up early. We brought
6
everything
o'clock.
with us.
6
Yeah,
o'clock we on the mountain.
We were on the mountain at 6. I said maybe we can fool them and they're going to be sleeping. So we turn around and we get in there.
All the way up there, nothing happened.
Nothing. It was a good walk.
Yeah.
We mixed it up. We started casting it, and we were waiting for it to harden. Now it's in a puddle, or it's beside a puddle that's still moist, so it's taken longer than normal. So we walked into the woods where I had seen mine.
To the exact spot.
Oh yeah, we were
Standing
sitting on the
rock.
same rock. I'll never forget it. I can walk to it every time. And we're standing there and we're just talking normally,
Yeah.
and we were just waiting for the thing to dry, and it was still a little misty. And we were there for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and all of a sudden, I don't know, 80 yards in front of us or so, there was a solid wood knock. One and done, and it was there was no mistaking it. Because there's nothing out there, it's all woods.
Yeah.
We're in a state forest. And all of a sudden you could hear something get up off the ground in different spots.
Multiple spots.
And just start moving.
Yeah.
But nothing was moving. None of the small pine trees were moving. Nothing, but you could hear them get up and move.
You could hear the leaf litter, stuff like that. You could hear it, but it came right after the knock.
Oh
That
yeah.
was a Louisville slugger knock. Nothing like we had heard
No,
earlier. The tapping on the trees.
this was a big boy knock. It wasn't a little kid knock.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And whatever it was, or whatever it was supposed to mean, whatever was there got up and they all started moving out of there.
Yep.
So we turned around and we said, okay, we're out. So we went back, we dug out the cast and we wrapped them up,
Grab the cast. Threw 'em in a pack.
threw them in a pack, and down the mountain we came. And we after they dried and we cleaned them up, took some of the dirt off. They are two beautiful casts.
Yeah.
Evidence-wise,
Is this thing 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old? What's the foot size compared to what of ours? That kind of thing. Potentially.
Knowing the situation,
There's
knowing
no-
the day. It rained for like 4 days.
Yeah.
There was no way there was a kid out there.
No.
It was just it just wouldn't happen. Not especially by himself.
So we got some cool tracks out of it,
Yeah.
regardless. And it was the real eye opener for me that time was the dry footprint. We went back the next morning and there was a little bit of water in the heel, and that was the extent of it. But when we went there the first time, then that night, that thing was dry.
They
It
were
was dry.
two great casts. They really are. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really clear, but there's not enough juvenile print. I know they are. The encounter that we had, the whole incident, start to finish,
Yeah,
started
encounters,
with
yeah.
juveniles. Started with little kids playing a game. What we'll do, see if they can just play a game with us. That's the way we looked
See what
at
they
it.
do.
So after we had left, they probably said, "Oh, we scared them off," and then we came back, and they were like, "What?"
Kind of like throwing stones at a nosy chipmunk, let's see what these people
I
do.
think that they were just playing. And I think when we found them, I think maybe we got in there a little bit faster and it just ran across and it just happened to step there. We got lucky enough to do it.
Yep.
So
Okay,
it's a nice spot. Savoy's been one of our active spots.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump in. I don't know how much of
Good.
the delay is. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I got you.
Okay. All right, we are at 50 minutes into
Oh,
the
yeah.
show, and yeah, you guys did exactly what we asked because of the delay and everything. It was a kind of special circumstances. I don't think we'll be able to get through the questions and answer kind of thing because of the delay. So if you guys will take just a minute and tell everybody where they can find you, talk about the project, the critter project you guys are doing, and tell everybody that's listening anything that you guys want to promote.
All right.
All right. We have the Facebook. The Facebook is the Vogel Brothers.
Yep.
We have a Vogel Brothers Instagram, and we have the Cabo Mountain Critter Project.
And website, the Cabo Mountain Critter website. You can go to the website, check that out. You go to list of events. It's got all of our bookings, libraries, events, shows, things like that
Festivals.
we're doing. Yeah, in 25, we're doing a festival. We're going to be running the Cabo Mountain Critter Festival right here in the camp. So look forward to that. We've got a number of 5K mud runs that we do as well. And yeah, just stay updated on the Facebook page. Pretty much, that's where you'll find out.
Like
where
and
we're
share it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Awesome,
you can catch
guys.
us on at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
this
Well,
weekend we're up in New Hampshire.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're up in New Hampshire this weekend at the Charming Fair Bigfoot Scouting for Bigfoot event with a number of people up there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool event. I think it's one of their first that they've done, and it's turned. They having a great turnout.
Okay. All right, guys. Again, I don't think that we will be able to get through the questions and answers, which is a pity because there were several really, really good questions for you guys. But I do want to thank you both so very much for taking the time to come and hang out. Wish you continued success in all of your explorations and looking into the big hairy guys. And again, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hey, thanks for having us on. It was a good time.
Yeah, as always. Thanks.
All right, there you go, guys. No fault to them at all. I mean, we can't always control our internet.
Yes,
our access.
I can speak highly for that.
We both can. There's been times that I've not been able to do a show because the internet was messing up. You, same thing. Obviously, I mean, last time they were on, there were no issues. I don't know if they were in a different location or what, but obviously had some computer issues. I am glad, though, that we just opened the floor and let them talk because they were able to get a lot of their experiences out. Weren't able to interact with them as much, which I regret, and I really hate that we couldn't ask the questions because you guys were asking some really, really good questions, and I appreciate that. But yeah, what you got anything to add, Tiffany?
No, I don't. I just thought it was funny what Joe Pat said. We are the king and queen of technical difficulties. It's you know what? It's always an adventure. You never know what you're gonna get.
Who said that?
Joe Pat.
Joe Pat. Yeah. Damn you, Joe Pat. Why you got to point?
We should get friends.
Why do you have to point out the obvious, Joe Pat? I mean, Tiffany and I are both on kick-ass computers, very expensive computers. We did upgrades for this stuff, and it still happens.
It does. It does. I got kicked out while we were trying to do pre-show stuff. Just there 1 minute, gone the next, and I don't know why.
Mike is asking to. What do you?
Whoops.
Did you take that down? There you go. Wanting to see the T-shirt. I will gladly show off my T-shirt. This is from David, the guy we had on not long ago. From
Yeah, David Harvey.
Yep.
He actually hand draws all of those designs. So that one is hand drawn. All of them are, and then he prints them and sells the shirts at some of the cons that he goes to. And I think he also has a website where he sells them as well.
Yeah, I'm in the new studio. Normally, if I was in my old one, I could look up and see his business card right beside me, but I don't know where everything is at the moment. But I will share that. Check him out. He does amazing work. I have 3 of his T-shirts. This one is my favorite. I've got the tactical Bigfoot, tactical Squatch kind of shirt or whatever. That one was my favorite, and then I've got the Yeti as well. I reached out to him. I found him on Instagram, and I reached out to him, told him how much I liked his stuff, and he sent me those first 2 shirts for free with a couple of stickers. So that was really, really cool of him. And then I didn't even give him the opportunity on this one. I just paid him. So
Right.
I didn't want him to send me something for a 3rd shirt for free. So, but yeah, he does great work. It's David Hardy. Hardywear. Is it Hardywear that's the name of his?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. I don't want to misspeak.
And for our audience watching / listening, Wayne's shirt is not a dirty pink. That color is actually dusty rose. But we do rib him for the dirty pink.
What did you say it was?
It's called Dusty Rose.
Cryptid shirts. That's what it's called. He's on Instagram under Cryptid Shirts. I just looked him up real quick. He's got some awesome stuff, man. But dirty pink is the color that I use to describe it to Tiffany, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm not going with that other crap. This is a dirty pink.
Hey, you do you, boo. I mean.
Yeah, but David does awesome work over there. He's a really good guy. He came on and shared some of stuff he's experienced as well. It was a really good episode. Give him some love. Go pick up a shirt.
Yeah.
All right. Let's we've still got a few minutes.
Well, so what were we going to do on the members only episode on Saturday?
I guess we'll just share some creepy videos.
Well, I think that's really cool. I'll be sure to, the last set that we watched. Okay, y'all, I'm in a romper now with a jean jacket on. But a lot of you guys, you don't see me from, I wear my pajamas. I wore my pajamas that night, my fuzzy Mickey Mouse pajamas, and I had on a really nice sweater because that's all you see, right? This. And so, but one part of that video scared me so bad because it whispered your name in the video. Like I was up and out of my chair. So of course I was like business, very casual attire that evening. Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Really? Yeah. It's
I'm going to have to go back and watch now.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Yeah. Bristol picked up on it because,
Yeah, but guys, if y'all aren't a member, it's $1.99. Less than $2. It's 199 pennies, and you get this cool little community.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna blow up, guys. It's gonna get much bigger. I'm telling you now. Get in on the ground floor. Be one of the original, the OGs, because we got Troy and Ristel and Mike and Joe Pat.
Lady, and I mean the list goes
Lady,
on.
yeah. There's like 22 diehard members of the group, and that's going to grow. It's going to grow. I know it's going to. Get in on it. If you don't, I mean, just do it. I mean, it's $1.99 a month. Hang out in the Discord. We're doing a members only after show party kind of thing when we hang out tonight. Matthew was on there earlier tonight telling everybody, be on after the show because we're all going to hang out and talk and have a good time. We have so much stuff planned over there. I know we've talked about the movie night. Ristel and Troy have been working really, really hard to figure out how exactly to put that together. That's coming, guys. I know we've talked about it. It hasn't happened yet, but I promise it's coming. But spend that $1.99. It's not. That's not going to kill anybody. Help us out. It goes so far. We pay to do. I mean, everything you're seeing, we pay to do it. There is a free. We use StreamYard. There is a free version of StreamYard, but you don't get much. So we do pay. We've got like the middle tier of StreamYard. So, it's like $30 a month that I pay. And then all the other editing software and all the stuff, we pay for stuff like that. And anything you guys can do to help us, it is so much appreciated. Like I said earlier, the super stickers, nobody hit us with a super sticker tonight, which is fine. That's fine. You guys can't always do that. I know you will eventually, but we're at like $70 for the month. As long as we hit $100 by the end of the month, we'll get paid next month. And you guys have been helping us to do that. I don't want to sound like I'm begging, but it's just fun. We hang out, we have a good time. If you're a member and you haven't reach out to either, that's why I put it up earlier, our email addresses. Reach out to either Tiffany or myself, and we will get you included in the Discord. And just come and hang out and have a good time. Get in on the ground floor and grow with us.
Yeah, Troy and Ristel have set up so many different, I don't know if you want to call them channels. I don't know, Ristel correct me. I think they're channels.
What the fuck? Mr. Tiffany?
Language. But yeah, they have worked so hard. And they can do things that we just, because we have lives outside. I mean, it's like I said before, we're not just talking heads. Max Headroom reference there. Anyway, I'm old. However, yeah, I can make you cry.
My.
What was I saying? Shit,
I don't know. Look at you, party mouth.
But they have set up. I mean, I can go on there and I can tell you now everything that Ristel and Troy have absolutely added. Show announcements are on there. I just went on there and listed every single guest that is starting from tonight all the way through August, because we have 2 guests booked for August already. Places where you can introduce yourself. There's a Bigfoot channel, paranormal channel, campfire tales, food channel, game room. I mean, we go in there and listen to music together. It's just so much fun. And you can do this for just $1.99.
Yeah.
And cover charges at clubs are more than that.
What the fuck did you just do, Troy?
Right? That's exciting. Oh, look, even my dog's yelling out of excitement.
I love you guys.
Y'all are the greatest people.
Yeah. Damn. I'm gonna cry.
I know. I feel my nose burning. When you first start to cry, you just feel it.
Thank you guys so very much. Let me throw it up there. And it's not just this. Y'all saw Mike just donated $5. Thank you so much, buddy. But not only that, look right here and right here.
Mm-hmm.
See that Paranormal Odyssey? Or I'm backwards. Right here, and then that Bigfoot right here. Mike made those. Mike Wolf. And sent them to me. Did not ask me for a dime in doing so. He also sent stuff to Brian that for me and Tiffany that we will get in July that we don't even have yet. It's just
I talked to him the other day. I mean, Alex made you a table. Alex made me the stellar Lazy Susan that I loved so much. I mean, it's just the outpouring of support and affection. And I mean, we just thank you. We just don't know what else to say, but thank you for, supporting us week in and week out on the shows that we do and the guests that we have in, and y'all are always so respectful and you're always so interactive, and it just makes what we do fun.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. And talking about Alex, I'm going to brag a little bit more on him. I don't know if he's in here tonight. I don't recall seeing it. He is? Okay. What's up, Alex? But you mentioned the bar that he made me. I've showed the pictures. I don't have it yet because it would cost a small fortune for him to ship me that bar that he made out of just his hands. So I'm going to get that in July. But I reached out to Alex and I told him I was wanting a cutting board, because I'm going to start doing some more grilling and stuff during the summer. And I wanted something that I could eat off directly. I want to throw my steak on there, take it outside, grill it, throw it on the cutting board, bring it in, just eat off the cutting board. And what does this man do? He makes me a cutting board.
Yeah.
He sent me, I don't have the pictures of it on here, but I'll make sure that I do it next time to show you guys. But it's amazing. It's awesome. Yeah. Our people, I love you guys so very much. You make it so much worthwhile. I don't know.
That's a good word, worthwhile, because contacting guests and, waiting for them to reply and then contacting another guest. And, I did everything Monday, and then last week with Wayne was sick, thank you, Teresa. You're so sweet.
Thank you, ma'am, so very much.
Wayne was sick last week. So, I was contacting Brian and Naomi about their portion of the giveaway and sending, getting everything orchestrated. And it's a lot of time and it is a lot of effort. But when we are dealing with a community and we have the guests that we do, and our guests are amazing, they always are. And as you saw tonight, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for us. And we're grateful. So grateful.
And you guys tonight, with your generosity, you may have given us our first ever $200 month.
Yeah.
Because we were at $70 tonight, and we got $110 right there.
Thank you.
So we're gonna be close. YouTube takes their cut. Yeah, I think YouTube gets 30% of everything, which you can't fault them. You don't start a business to break even. You start a business to make a profit and live off of. So I don't blame YouTube. People talk shit about YouTube, but I don't have a problem with YouTube. Where else would we do this?
Right, exactly. And look at what Bigfoot brought together. You look at Tim and Eric tonight and everything that they've experienced. And some people will do what we do for just gimme. Okay. But we are 100%. We want to get to the bottom of this, After a while, we can hear encounter after encounter after encounter, but it has to lead somewhere, So that's
yeah. We could go on, and I don't need to take up anyone else's time, but we have as many people in here now as we have all night. So you guys want to hang out, we'll hang out and talk. You got anywhere you need to be? You got a hot date, Tiffany? You and Mr. Tiffany doing anything?
Not that I'm aware of. He snuck in. I heard him open the bedroom door. And I see him in the chat, so I know he's home, but I haven't seen him since groggily. I saw him this morning before he left for work. But
yeah. Well, we're gonna do the after hours party on Discord. Again, guys, if you are members and you're watching this and you are not a part of the Discord, email either Tiffany or myself. Let me throw it up here one more time. And we will get you set up. We want you to be there. I think Troy said last week or the week before that there were 22 members in the Discord. We've got over twice that in members. So that means there are members out there that aren't taking advantage of the Discord. Yeah, don't do that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reach out to us. We'll get you the link. You're not allowed in this Discord unless you are one of the people that pay $1.99 a month. So take advantage of that.
Yeah.
If you haven't done it yet, reach out to one of us and we will get you hooked up.
Exactly. Because everything's been set up for you guys. This has nothing to do with us. This is something that we want to do for you guys, out of support for us. So, yeah.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Stop bumping our gums, and get ready for the after hours. Mr. Tiffany, thank you, buddy. I know you and I are gonna have matching banana hammocks for the conference. We're only gonna wear it at the cabin. We're not gonna walk around the conference in our banana hammocks, but we will.
Yes, and if you want to see, because we're gonna have professional pictures, that we're gonna post on Facebook, cabin pictures are only gonna be put on Discord, because I swear to the sweet baby Jesus above that those will not be put on Facebook.
Why? Guys, we're not going to be walking around in banana hammocks. I can tell you right now. I would not punish anybody on earth. My worst enemy, I would not make look at a picture of me in a banana hammock.
Zach has no shame. You guys have no idea.
I don't have either. I mean, if somebody wants to supply it, if I show up July in that cabin and there's a banana hammock sitting there with my name, I'll wear it. Telling you right now.
I'm gonna go because we're gonna be right next to the Smoky Mountains. I'm just gonna go right into the wood line. I'll go ahead. I'll just check out the pictures on Discord. I mean, I'm fine.
All right. Let's get out of here so we can head over to Discord for the after hours party. Say your goodbyes, ma'am.
Thank you immensely for everything that you guys do for us on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, every single freaking day that you breathe air in and out of your lungs. Thank you for being who you are to us. We appreciate it, and we love you so very much for it.
Yeah, I can't say it any better than that. Thank you guys for everything, all the continued support. We love you guys. Thank you so very much. Until we talk to you again, y'all take care of yourself. Take care of each other.